Everyone loves The Boys, the satirical superhero show that's been making waves lately. Developed by the executive producers of none other than Preacher, as shown in its initial promos, The Boys is an unconventional show that boldly showers the audience with lots of what-ifs regarding global politics, power struggle, race discourse, oligarchy, fascism, and then the eventual rebellion. But as wild as Amazon's The Boys is, the original graphic novel by Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson goes even further in terms of depiction of grotesque scenarios. And most importantly, they're packed with the most egregious Supes that never made it into the main series, either because they were too weird or too offensive or too specific to be incorporated into the series. In this video, we're going to talk about 6 comic-only Supes who've not made the jump into the live-action series yet. The list includes a missing number of the 7, forgotten speedsters, disgusting teen disasters, and also deep-cut parodies of sidekicks and PR heroes that aren't just background nobodies. Keep in mind that this isn't a the show is wrong list, because while the show has brought many creative differences, it still stays true to the spirit of the original comic book series, and is, in fact, way better than whatever the comic book series was, of course, because in the original source material, we see Ennis completely get into his character of I hate superheroes and I love it, by blowing the covers of the superhumans from his universe in a questionably hyperbolic manner, unlike the TV show, which rather dives deeper into the gray shades. Like, just imagine flipping the pages and getting to see a bizarre orgy in every single chapter within the span of just 1 millisecond. That's what the original comic book series was, in a nutshell. And thanks to the graphic novel's really bizarre design, these 7 Supes are really wilder than whatever you've witnessed in the Prime Video series. So, without further ado, let's start today's video. Jack from Jupiter. Our first Supe is none other than Jack from Jupiter, the supporting antagonist from the comic book series. If you remember it very well, Jack from Jupiter made a brief appearance in the TV series The Boys Presents Diabolical, and that itself gave the very foundation of what kind of character he is in the comic books. A deranged and hedonistic Supe from the 7, who's not as corrupt and violent as the rest of the Supes, but still has always turned a blind eye to the large-scale destruction and crimes caused by the Supes. Ridiculously enough, Jack from Jupiter is a sleazy, drugged-out riff on Martian Manhunter. However, unlike Martian Manhunter, who's from Mars, Jack is an alien coming from Jupiter. Even if he's just like his peers, a shallow celebrity blessed with superpowers rather than a conventional superhero, his teammates always look down on him, and he's never been a part of the corporate sponsors of the team, despite the fact that he's one of the founding members of the 7. The first time we see Jack from Jupiter in the comics is in the 4th issue, when an official meeting is held by Homelander to welcome Starlight as the new member of the 7, and the very first impression we get from him is him being silenced by Queen Maeve with her weed huff. Due to his abilities of flight and invulnerability, Jack is marketed by the 7 as the only alien Supe from their team. In the TV canon, however, Jack never appears as a character, and he's replaced by Translucent, an original invisible Supe created by the 7 so that every member can be tied directly to Compound V instead of aliens or cosmic origins associated with them. And it's actually a big omission, because without Jack, the live-action 7 lose their one truly non-human member. And also a lot of the weird alien pervert energy that makes whatever happens in the comic book feel way more deranged. But at the same time, it's also interesting why he doesn't show up in the TV canon at all. The death of Jack from Jupiter is linked with Billy Butcher and his dog, Terror. While in the TV series, Terror is left behind by Billy with his aunt after his wife's death, in the comic book, Terror stays by Billy's side all day. So, when Jack from Jupiter kills Terror, Billy's enraged by it, and this is what fuels the death of this super deranged alien Supe. As interesting as this sounds, considering that Billy Butcher from the show shares a few dissimilarities with the one from the comic book, the omission of Jack from Jupiter is valid. Malchemical. Our next Supe is Malchemical, a minor antagonist affiliated with a group of superheroes managed by Vought called Super Duper. Malchemical has the ability to turn into anyone and even any element, be it in liquid or even gas form. Considering what his abilities are, Malchemical is a parody of a shape-shifting superhero from the DC Comics named Metamorpho. In the comic book series, we see Malchemical as this highly arrogant suit with the ability to shapeshift. Originally affiliated with Team Titanic, Malchemical was later kicked out of the group after the Vought American learned that he used his shape-shifting abilities to impersonate a teammate's boyfriend and assault her. He was then made the official leader of Super Duper. However, in the aftermath of him being the leader of the group, more deranged consequences are sired, as he's literally seen mistreating his teammates in the worst ways imaginable, literally abusing the mentally disabled Supes under his supervision, and thus showcasing how corrupt people are being assigned as the leaders or members of the administrative system, regardless of the atrocities they have committed. His death is caused when he tries to battle Huey Campbell, who's come to confront him after knowing about how he misuses his shape-shifting powers to fulfill his own selfish desires. While Huey's about to be killed by Malchemical, Billy Butcher comes to his rescue and kills Malchemical by setting him on fire while he's in gas form. Malchemical is, of course, one of the most record-shattering characters from the world of comic books, as his design shows how far a comic book could push the boundaries just to make clear the concept of a corrupt leader. Compared to him, the other Supes in the show look almost restrained, and that solely is the reason why he never appears as part of the TV canon, as he's frequently mentioned in articles that this character was too offensive to be adapted, and that too without any change being brought to the table. Blarney Cock. Our third Supe is none other than Blarney Cock, a member of the Teenage Kicks. Sure, Teenage Kicks has been discussed in the ongoing season, and there's a possibility that with coming episodes we may know more about the members of Teenage Kicks and the disasters they've caused. But till now, we've barely seen any appearance of one of the most important members of Teenage Kicks. His original name is Martin Nurse, and he hails from Ireland. Written as a violent, drug-infected, and foul-mouthed train wreck belonging to the Teenage Kicks, Blarney Cock carries a secret that makes his fate even more significant in the comic book series. He's the illegitimate son of Queen Maeve and the Legend. We're introduced to him in the 4th issue of the comic book itself, where Billy and Huey are looking at the pictures of the Teenage Kicks members and identifying the faces, one of them being Blarney Cock. Interestingly enough, Blarney Cock is a significant character, as he's Huey's first kill in the comic book series. In the 6th issue, Huey, still trying to understand his Compound V enhanced strength, panics and punches a hole straight through Blarney's torso. What's funnier, and considerably more disgusting, is that Blarney's pet hamster is discovered to have been living in his rectum at the time of death, and crawls out alive after the killing. This creates one of the most notorious gross-out moments in the entire series, a deliberate parody of a well-known urban legend. But that's not even the end of Blarney's story. Thanks to Compound V, Blarney is later revived in a zombified, brain-damaged state, tracks down the hamster that Huey has since taken in, and forces Huey to kill him a second time and burn the body. Even in death, this man refuses to go quietly. Why Blarney Cock is one of the most significant characters from The Boys is that he's a perfect example of the nasty, juvenile edge of the comic book series, which the main series deliberately avoids exploring. And since Huey is the only sentimental human being among the boys who actually experiences trauma while encountering gross moments, unlike his allies, his first kill being this grotesque sets the foundation of whatever he'll be experiencing throughout the series. In the TV show, Blarney Cock is replaced by Translucent as Huey's first kill, and it happens the very second episode of the series. While both versions of the story carry the title Cherry, in the comic book series, the showcasing of Huey's first kill is pretty gradual, which perfectly sets the stage for Huey's character being empathetic and maintaining his humanity and morality, unlike the other characters in the series. Groundhawk. Our 4th Supe is Groundhawk, a short, feral Supe in yellow and black gear with sledgehammers instead of hands. If you remember it very well, he's the same Supe in the animated spin-off series Diabolic, who was advertised as a supervillain to Nubian Prince and Nubia, as to make the Nubians more marketable as the power couple. Being a brutal, hilarious parody of Wolverine and the extreme character designs given to the superheroes in the 90s, Groundhawk is the member of the superhero group G-Men, a parody of Marvel and Fox Studios' X-Men. Given all this, he's not just a genuine heavy hitter in the comic book series, but also a joke about how toyetic and over the top some superheroes are, just to facilitate the marketing of action figures. One look at the design of Groundhawk tells you what the creator of the books, Ennis, thinks of superhero universes being this ridiculous and dangerous. Even if Groundhawk has been a fan favorite and has always been discussed in the video essays related to The Boys solely because the visual alone sells what The Boys has been mocking for years, he's not made a single appearance in the main Prime Video series. Groundhawk has also gained superhuman agility thanks to Compound V, which has given him near immortality, meaning that he cannot die, as well as can withstand fatal wounds and damage without being weakened. Despite this all, Groundhawk is vulnerable to firepower, like all his other teammates. Even if his skilled use of his hammers makes him formidable, his hands being replaced by hammers makes it difficult for him to, grab things. And considering this feature of his not only satirizes him, but also places him perfectly amongst the superpowered villains in The Boys, who are mostly either parodied or over-the-top versions of the real-life action figures or superheroes. It's interesting to see why Groundhawk was never mentioned once in the main TV series. Drummer Boy. Did you know that Starlight has an ex-boyfriend? And no, I'm not talking about Supersonic. I'm talking about Drummer Boy. Just like Supersonic, Drummer Boy comes out as this wholesome, polished golden boy from Starlight's evangelical teen hero days, who served as a drummer for a Christian boy band. However, Supersonic is just a different character altogether compared to Drummer Boy. In the comics, he's the leader of the Young Americans. Being part of the Christian hero scene, Drummer Boy's behavior behind the scenes provides an outlook on how rotten the world has become. And, at the same time, he's also a big part of how Annie becomes disillusioned long before she joins the Seven. Even if the series does provide a satire of Christianity by exposing the church culture, atrocities of the Supes being normalized just because they believe in or are representatives of the Christian God himself, the eventual hero worship under the belt of the Holy Bible, etc., Drummer Boy is never introduced as a character, nor is he shown as a specific ex-boyfriend who influenced whatever caused Annie to join the Seven. All it proves is why the Drummer Boy was significant in the comic book series and why his omission from the TV series is actually valid. It's because his presence would make Annie's life look more concrete and personal, as she would not just be let down by a system, but also by the false facade that her ex-boyfriend provided, and also by her ex-boyfriend himself. To provide the context, in the comic book series, Drummer Boy being a nice guy is actually an act he throws out to preserve his image. After Drummer Boy becomes the leader of the Young Americans and Starlight gets promoted into one of the heroes of the Seven, Drummer Boy starts a romantic relationship with Holy Mary, basically cheating on her. He publicly acts like he's still committed to Starlight, while actually he's not. His cover is blown when Starlight, after feeling disappointed by the Seven, comes back to the Young Americans' place and catches Drummer Boy and Holy Mary red-handed. Swingwing. Our sixth and last hero is Swingwing, an ex-sidekick of the Supes. Being the parody of Nightwing archetypes in DC, Swingwing is an acrobatic, brand-friendly suit with a deeply ugly private history involving sexual misconduct and exploitation of his younger fans. Swingwing is marked by VA International as a gay superhero in order to attract younger people as to increase their rule, while in reality, Swingwing is homophobic and in fact hates going to LGBTQ festivals. However, Swingwing has appeared neither in the main Prime Video series nor in its spin-off, Gen V, despite the fact that this character itself is a great critique of how younger generations are being fooled by the double-faced corporate agencies. Swingwing started as a sidekick for Tech Knight, going by the name Ladio. During his time with Tech Knight, both became friends with the Talon, a member of their rogues gallery. However, after both started having feelings for the Talon, they started hating each other, due to which he left Tech Knight to develop a solo career under the name Swingwing. What makes him significant is that through the depiction of this character, Ennis digs into what becomes of the ex-sidekicks in this universe. The washed-up, predatory reality behind the fantasy of a graduated Robin. The whole purpose behind bringing forth Swingwing as a character is that the cycle of abuse does not stop when the cameras do. It just manifests off-screen. All of this is shown by how he becomes the cause of the death of a gay man named Steven Rubenstein, who confesses his love to Swingwing, but ends up getting verbally abused by Swingwing, which causes him to panic and hence fall off the edge to his death. After this incident, Huey and Butcher investigate Rubenstein's death and then confront Swingwing, following which Butcher brutally kills Swingwing by crushing him to death by the Staten Island Fair. So, here are all the 6 Supes that never made it into the series. If you guys really enjoyed this video, then drop a like and share it with your friends. Also, for more such marvelous videos, don't forget to subscribe to our channels and hit the bell icon to never miss any updates. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.